We'd like to start with the Sally Gardens.
Absolutely. This is a setting, the text is attributed to Yeats, although Yeats openly admitted that at least the first verse he wrote down having heard it in the street. Following that, we have another three Britain folk song settings taken from his set of 8, which he wrote for voice and harp. The first one of those that we're going to have is She's Like the Swallow, which is in fact a Newfoundland folk song about death in childbirth. The second is Lord, I Married Me a Wife. This is from North Carolina, and I'm afraid it is a bit of a marital rant. And then we have Bonnie at Morn, returning to the British Isles. This is Northumbrian, and is a sort of charming depiction of life for two parents with a very, very young baby who won't sleep at night and sleeps all through the day.
Like the swallow that flies so high, she's like the river that never runs dry, she's like the sunshine on the lee shore. I love my love, my love is no more. 'Twas out in the garden this this fair maid did go, a-picking the beautiful primrose. The more she plucked, the more she pulled, until she got her apron full. It's out of these roses she made a bed, a stony pillow for her head. She laid her down, no word did say, until this fair maid's heart did break. She's like the swallow that flies so high. She's like the river that never runs dry. She's like the sunshine on the lee shore. I love, my love is no more. Lord, 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 I married me a wife, wife, wife. She gave me trouble all my life, life, life. Made me work, 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 work in the cold rain and snow, rain and snow, rain and snow. Made me work in the cold rain and snow. Lord, 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 I married me a wife, wife, wife. She gave me trouble all my life, life, life. Made me work, 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 work in the cold rain and snow, rain and snow, rain and snow. Made me work in the cold rain and snow. Lord, 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 Lord. The sheep's in the meadow, the kye's in the corn. Thou howling in thy bed, bonny, at morn. The sheep's in the meadow, the kye's in the corn. Thou howling in thy bed, bonny, at morn. Canny at night, bonny at morn, thou howling in thy bed, bonny at morn. The birds in the nest, the trouts in the burn, thou hinders thy mother in many a turn. The birds in the nest, the cars in the burn, thou hinders thy mother in many a turn. Canny at morn, thou sower lying in thy bed, bonny at morn. We're all laid idle, we keeping the bed, the lad we not work, and the lass we not learn. We're all laid idle, we keeping the bed, the lad we not work, and the lass we not learn. Canny at night, bonny at morn, thou sower lying in thy bed, bonny at morn.
We're heading back to Wales next, and this piece is one of my favourite pieces, actually. It's written by Welsh composer Grace Williams, and the title of it, Hiraeth, is this untranslatable Welsh word that is quite difficult to explain, but it's sort of this very deep feeling of homesickness and longing, and I think it also comes from either being far away from home or missing a feeling or a place. It doesn't have to be anything too specific, but it's just that kind of stab in your heart. It's only short, but I personally find it very, very moving, and especially in relation to where we'll be heading in the second half with the work of Dylan Thomas, and I feel like he may have felt some Hiraeth himself over here in the States, thinking of lovely, lovely Wales.
is wide, I cannot get o'er, and neither have I wings to fly. Give me a boat that will carry two, and both shall roam, my love and I. Oh, down in the meadow the other day, gathering flowers both fine and gay, gathering flowers both red and blue. I little thought what love can do. I leaned my back up against some oak, thinking that he was a trusty tree. But first he bended and then he broke, and so did my false love to me. A ship there is, and she sails the sea. She's loaded deep, as deep can be, but not so deep as the love I'm in. I know not if I sink or swim. Oh, love is handsome and love is fine, and love's a jewel while it is new. But when it is old, it groweth cold and fades away as morning dew.
I have another Welsh number to finish the first half, to take us closer to, well, my home east. It's based as a series of 3 soliloquies based on Welsh nursery rhymes by composer Halden Evans. And this one is called Dros y Mynydd, or Over the Mountain. And it's a song that you sing to children, and the words go something like, giddy up little horse, we're going over the mountain to collect some nuts. But we're going through a stream, oh no, the stones are slippery and we've all fallen off. So it's quite a lively one and a little more upbeat to finish the first half. So this is Dros y Mynydd out of Sonai, so 3 Welsh soliloquies by Halden Evans.
to begin at the beginning. It is spring, moonless night in the small town, starless and Bible black. The cobble streets silent, and the hunched quarters and rabbit's wood limping, invisible, down to the slow black, crow black, fishing boat bobbing sea. The houses are blind as moles, though moles see fine tonight in the snouting velvet dingles, or blind as Captain Cat, there in the muffled middle by the pump and the town clock, the shops in mourning, the welfare hall in widow's weeds, and all the people of the lulled and dumbfound town are sleeping now.
Years and years ago, when I was a boy, when there were wolves in Wales, and birds the colour of red flannel petticoats whisked past the harp-shaped hills. We sang and wallowed all night and day in caves that smelt like Sunday afternoons in Tamfront farmhouse parlours, and we chased with the jawbones of deacons, the English and the bears. Before the motor car, before the wheel, before the Duchess-faced horse, when we rode the daft and happy hills bareback. It snowed and it snowed. It snowed and it snowed. But here a small boy says, it snowed last year too. I made a snowman and my brother knocked it down, and I knocked my brother down, and then we had tea.
Oh yes,
I remember him well, the boy you are searching for. He looked like most boys, no better, brighter, or more respectful. He cribbed, mitched, spilt ink, rattled his desk, and garbled his lessons with the worst of them. He could smudge, hedge, smirk, wriggle, wince, whimper, blarney, badger, blush, deceive, be devious, stammer, improvise, assume offended dignity or righteous indignation as though to the manner born. Sullenly and reluctantly he drilled for some small crime under Sergeant Bird, so wittily nicknamed Oiseau, on Wednesday half-holidays. Appeared regularly in detention classes, hid in the cloakroom during algebra, was, when a newcomer, thrown into the bushes of the lower playground by bigger boys, and threw newcomers into the bushes of the lower playground when he was a bigger boy. He scuffled at prayers. He interpolated smugly the time-honored, wrong, irreverent words into the morning hymns. He helped to damage the headmaster's rhubarb, was 33rd in trigonometry, and, as might be expected, edited the school magazine.
My Genesis in sweat of sleep, breaking through the rotating shell, strong as a motor muscle on the drill, driving through vision and the girded nerve. That had the measure of the worm, shuffled off from the creasing flesh, filed through all the irons in the grass, suns in the man-melting night. To the scalding veins that hold love's drop, costly a creature in my bones, I rounded my globe of heritage, journeying bottom gear through night-geared man. dreamed my genesis and died again. Shrapnel rammed in the marching heart, hole in the stitched wound and clotted wind, muzzled death on the mouth that ate the gas. And power was contagious in my birth. Second rise of the skeleton and re-robing of the naked ghost. Manhood spat up from the re-suffered pain. I dreamed my genesis in sweat of death, fallen twice in the feeding sea, grown stale of Adam's brine until vision of new man strength I seek the sun.
He's 5'6½", thick blubber lips, snub nose, curly mouse brown hair, one front tooth broken after playing a game called Cat and Dog in the Mermaid Mumbles. Speaks rather fancy, truculent, plausible, a bit of a shower off, +4s and no breakfast, you know. Used to have poems printed in the Herald of Wales. There was one about an open-air performance of Electra in Mrs. Bertie Perkins' garden in Sketty. Lived up the uplands, a bombastic, adolescent, provincial bohemian with a thick, knotted artist's tie made out of his sister's scarf. She never knew where it had gone, and a thick shirt dyed bottle green. A gabbing, ambitious, mock-tough, pretentious young man. And moly, too.
have longed to move away from the hissing of the spent lie and the old terrace continual cry, grow
terrible as the day goes over the hill into the deep sea. I have longed to move away from the repetition of salutes, for there are ghosts in the air and ghostly echoes on paper and the thunder of calls and notes. I have longed to move away, but I'm afraid some life yet unspent might explode out of the old lie, burning on the ground and crackling into the air. Leave me half blind. Neither by night, ancient fear, the parting of hat from hair, pursed lips at the receiver. Shall I fall to death's feather? By these I would not care to die. Half convention and half lie. My own news is very big and simple. I was married 3 days ago to Caitlin McNamara in Penzance Registry Office, with no money, no prospect of money, no attendant friends and relatives, and in complete happiness. We've been meaning to from the first day we met, and now we are free and glad. We're moving next week. For how long depends on several things, but mostly on one, to a studio some miles away in Newlyn. A studio above a fish market and where gulls fly in to breakfast. But I shall be trying to come home soon for at least a few days, along with Caitlin. I think you'll like her very much. She looks like the princess on top of a Christmas tree, or like a stage Wendy. But for God's sake, don't tell her that. Ancient stone-necked minute of love's season harbors my anchored tongue, slips the keystone. When praise is blessed, her pride in mast and fountain sailed, and set dazzling by the hand-shaped ocean, in that proud sailing tree, with branches driven through the last vault and vegetable groin, and this weak house to marrow columned heaven, 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 heaven. child's innocence, and a sick pigeon's guilt in her proud essence. In the molested rocks, the shell of virgins, the frank closed pearl, the seagull's lineaments glint in the stave and siren printed caverns, is maiden in the shameful oak, omens, whalebed, and bull dance, the gold bush of lions, proud as sucked stone, and huge as sand grains. These are her contraries, the beast who follows with priest grey foot and hand of 5 assassins, her molten flight ups in the nesting columns, pulls the stuffed firehead, is cast in ice, lost in a limb-treed and uneating silence, who scales a hailing hill in her coat-flint steps, falls on a ring of summers, and locked knows.
Remember last night? In you reeled, my boy, drunk as a deacon, with a big wet bucket and a fish pail full of stout. And you looked at me and you said, God has come home, you said. And then over the bucket you went, sprawling and bawling, and the floor was all flagons and eels.
Was I wounded?
And then you took off your trousers and said, does anybody want to fight? Oh, you old baboon.
Give me a kiss.
And then you sang Bread of Heaven, tenor and bass.
I always sing
And
Bread
then
of Heaven.
you did a dance on the table.
I did.
Drop dead.
And then what did I do?
And then you cried like a baby and said you were a poor, drunk orphan with nowhere to go but the grave.
And what did I do next, my dear?
And then you danced on the table all over again and said you were King Solomon. And I was your Mrs. Sheba.
And then?
And then I got you into bed and you snored all night like a brewery.
A scrubby Welshman with a 3 weeks accumulated hangover.
A heart full of love and nerves full of alcohol, moping over his papers in a mortgaged villa in an upper-class professional row. I'm not sober either. At least, not so much that you'd point after me in the street and say, "There goes a sober man." I'm out of circulation too, with a swollen throat and a pint-sized headache, a jumping hand, and not half enough air in my lungs. In Finch's I was a lion. In the Duke of York, a piece of cold lamb with vomit sauce. Cold beer is bottled God. As one daddy to another, what are you doing in the war? I'm very puzzled. When it is necessary, I'm going to register as an objector, but also because I want to get something out of the mess, if possible. I'm trying to get a mild job in the film writing racket before conscientious registration is forced on me. My little body, though it's little no longer, I'm like a walrus, I don't intend to waste for the mysterious ends of others.
And if there's any profiteering to be done, I, in my fashion, wish to be in on it. But my natural and to me sensible greed and opportunism will unfortunately come to nothing, I'm sure of that. I know a few wires, but they only tinkle when I pull them. So I'm afraid that I shall have to take the tribunal. Is there any possibility of getting a soft job in Swansea? I don't know how you feel about all this, but I can't raise up any feeling about this war at all. And the demon Hitlerism can go up its own bottom. I refuse to help it with a bayonet.
My sails, the grievers grieve among the street, burned to tireless death. A child of a few hours, with its kneading mouth charred on the black breast of the grave the mother dug, and its arms full of fires. Begin with singing, sing, darkness kindled back into beginning, when the cold tongue nodded blind, a star was broken into the centuries of the child. My sails grieve now, and miracles cannot atone. Forgive us, forgive, give us your death, that my sins, the believers, may hold it in a great flood, till the blood shall spurt, and the dust shall sing like a bird, as the grains blow, as your death grows in our hearts.
Things are appalling here, which can only mean one thing. Bills and demand notes at me like badgers, whoosh, up the manholes, or gathered grinning and panting round my bed, odiously familiar, like little hyenas in Paphnutius' cell. It is bad in a small community where everything is known. Temporary insolvency goes the glad rounds as swift as miscarriage. I owe a quarter's rent on my mother's house, Llewellyn's school fees for last term, much to each tradesman. I'm 3 months behind with my film script, a year behind with Peer Gynt. I have the hot and cold rose flush comings and goings after elderberry wine last night in a ham-hooked kitchen with impossibly rich and thunderingly mean ferret-faced farmers who dislike me so much they treat me like a brother. At last, the National Insurance has caught up with me, who has never put a stamp on his card, having no card. If you see anyone likely, pinch his boots for me.
This day, winding down now, at Godspeed its summer's end, in the torrent salmon sung. In my sea-shaken house, on the breakneck of rocks, tangled with cherub and fruit, froth, flood, fin, and quail. At wood's dancing hoof by scum starfish sands, with their fishwife cross, gulls, pipers, cockles, and sails. Out there, crow black, men tackled with clouds, who kneel to the sunset nets. Geese nearly in heaven, boys stabbing, and herons, and shares that speak 7 seas, eternal waters away from the cities of 9 days' night, whose towers will catch in a religious wind, like stalks of tall dry straw. At poor peace I sing to you, strangers, sing, sing, sing to you. I trumpet the place from fish to jumping hill. Look, I build my bellowing ark to the best of my love as the flood begins out of the fountainhead of fear. Raise
time passes. Listen. Time passes. Come closer now. Only you can hear the houses sleeping in the streets, in the slow, deep salt and silent black bandaged night. Only you can see in the blinded bedrooms the combs and petticoats over the chairs, the jugs and basins, the glasses of teeth, thou shalt not on the wall, and the yellowing dicky bird watching pictures of the dead. Only you can hear and see behind the eyes of the sleepers, the movements and countries and mazes and colours and dismays and rainbows and tunes and wishes and flight and fall and despairs and big seas of their dreams. From where you are, you can hear their dreams.
Drawn a red rib down the east, the ghost of a circle around the circle of the moon spun through a cloud. His tongue over his lips that had miraculously clothed themselves with skin and flesh. In his mouth was a strange taste, as if last night, 300 nights ago, he had squeezed the head of a puppy and drunk and slept. had talked of death, had seen a moth caught in the candle, had heard the laughter that could not have been his, ring in his ears. The cock cried again, and a bird whistled like a sigh through wheat. Rhiannon, he said, hold my hand, Rhiannon, hold my hand, he said, and then why are you putting the sheet over my face?